Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Welch Elementary School Community Meeting number 4. Those of you who are joining us tonight are going to have a wonderful presentation of the progress being made on the Welch School project, find out about the significant milestone that we just reached, and you're going to see a lot of very interesting drawings and plans all about the renovation of the Welch Elementary School. I want to thank our representatives from Doran Whittier, our oldest project manager, as well as our design team with Danisco Design and our construction firm, Consigli Construction. They're going to go through this agenda and do all the presentations for you. And this is made available to everyone through I have to thank Peabody Access Television for broadcasting this throughout Peabody and also providing this online. If anyone has any questions about how to view this again, it is going to be repeated and you can check the schedule. I'm going to turn the meeting over to Christina Del Angelo from our owner's project management company and let her proceed along with the members of the rest of the team. And I hope you all enjoy this presentation.
Thanks, Beth. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to go through the project schedule with you, some of our process and milestone dates as we have in the past. As you can see on the screen, we've reviewed with you the MSBA process and currently where we are within that schedule. And so last time we saw you, we had just started our schematic design phase, which is outlined there as module 4. I'm happy to say that we just completed our schematic design submission to the MSBA, and we'll be moving into the module 5, which is funding the project. So since we've been working in the schematic design phase, just to recap some of our activities, as I said, we've been working through that schematic design submission. Happy to say we submitted it to the MSBA on September 8th, and that included final design programs, more detailed estimates, preliminary plans, and specifications. And so we're working with the MSBA board to approve our schematic design in October of this year. As we move forward past schematic design into module 5, that includes funding the project. And so once we do our project scope and budget agreement with the MSBA, the district has 120 days from our board approval to secure the project funding. And then once the district approves the funding, the MSBA will enter into that project funding agreement, which will lock the MSBA maximum reimbursement and act to confirm the project scope, schedule, and cost. And once we move forward from there, after the approval, if we do receive approval, we proceed then into module 6, which is detailed design. As far as the process and schedule goes, this is the typical process that we've showed you in the past, and just wanted to reiterate some of these dates with you as we move forward past module 4. So again, we just completed our schematic design submission. We started working on that in February through obviously September. And now we're in this module 5, which is the local approval that I just outlined before. Moving after that, we are working on currently the detailed design, which is module 6. And then that then concludes us moving into construction, which would start in summer of 2022. Just some important milestones I wanted to review with you and to ensure that you understand as far as where we are within the project include right now the community meeting number 4, the MSBA Boards of Directors approval to fund the project. Again, that's going to be in October, and the date that was set is October 27th. We then plan on meeting with City Council for funding approval sometime in November. And then we're working with the design development submission sometime in December. Moving forward from there is the construction documents phase, which starts in January through June of 2022. And then as I'd outlined just a minute ago, the phase construction start, which is proposed to start in June of 2022. And then with our project completion in November of 2023. So I just want to reiterate to you that I know we had shared with you in the past our project website, and you'll see that at the bottom of the presentation once we conclude tonight. All of this information has been made available on our project website in case you have any questions. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Todd to talk about construction and site logistics.
Great. Thanks, Christina. Good evening, everybody. My name is Todd McCabe with Consigli Construction. As Christina just said, we're going to spend the next few minutes just walking through two aspects of the planning phase: the construction site logistics, which focuses on the exterior of the building, really the planning that we're doing to develop the site plan, if you will. And then a few minutes, we'll talk about the phasing, which is the interior construction phasing of the renovation project. So phase one begins, as Christina said, in June of 2022, and this is when we mobilize to the site. You can see here on the diagram in front of you that we pretty much establish our home base, if you will, our subcontractor storage, lay down an office facility on the north side of the site, back where the existing basketball court is, and then establish a work zone out at the existing front entrance of the building for phase one, where we do the entrance addition. I think a couple things to note here on the far right-hand side of the page, down by the tennis courts, we've identified our subcontractor parking area. And then just on the access in, coming in through Swampscott Ave, I wanted to identify the orange arrows that show really the subcontractor and contractor access to our work zone. Phase two, we move in to December of 22 through April of 23. And again, we've finished our construction work at the front entrance. And really the only difference here is that we take that fencing down and isolate ourselves in the back corner of the building in site. And that will remain through the duration of the job. Phase three, once we turn over in April of 2023 through the summer of August 2023, we'll again tackle the interior renovation, which we'll get to in a minute, but the exterior facade, space specifically in the summer will address the grade area, which is really all the new parking and paving that we are and hardscaping that we're doing around the building. And then finally in phase four, we'll start to demobilize from the site. We're bringing our space in all the while throughout all of these different phases, keeping good separation between our construction area and access to the building in the students and staff. Again, as I mentioned, the final area we'll be demobilizing from is what we call our laydown area on the north side of the site. October 2023, November 2023 is when we'll turn the building over and depart from the site to a brand new renovated space for the children. And we'll jump into the interior phasing. Now we've really broken this up into four phases. Our primary phase, as I mentioned, is June 2022 through December 2022. And this really focuses on the entrance of the building and what I'll call the south side of the site. And this is where we'll create a brand new entrance and a brand new core to the building right through the middle there. Phase two, after we've turned over the new core and classrooms, we'll move ourselves to the east side of the site and focus on some mechanical and electrical rooms, and then classrooms on floors 1 and 2, as identified by the pink here. Phase three, which starts in April and goes through the summer, we tackle probably a very important part of the building, which is the vertical access, which is located right in the center of the top bar there. Thanks, Christina. That is your elevator, your vertical stairs to the second floor. And obviously during school, we can't close those. So it's ideal that we perform this work in our second summer of June through August of 23. Again, in the summer, it's the perfect time to attack areas, to renovate areas that do not have swing spaces. So on the right hand, and there's the gymnasium. On the left hand, in the middle, is the cafeteria. Obviously, we'll focus our work in these areas and plan to turn them over in time for the students coming back in September. And then the final phase is that we focus on the few remaining classrooms along the south side of the site. quick tour through 18 months or so. Vivian?
Thanks, Todd. I'm Vivian Lowe with Danisco Design, and I'd like to just provide an update as to where we are currently with the design. So when we last met in June, we were actually partway through the schematic design phase, and really not a whole lot has changed. The design really pretty much remains as is. We'll take a look at the site first, and then we're going to look at some of the interior, exterior views, and then talk a little bit about just the project summary. Next. So the site plan will pretty much remain as is. The traffic circulation, parent drop-off, and buses really will remain as it currently works. The primary changes to the site will be to improve the site for accessibility. We'll be looking at regrading some of the sidewalks, providing new sidewalk surfaces, curbing, and crosswalks. The rear playground area will have new bituminous play surface, and the playground equipment area will have a new rubberized surface. What we'll also be doing is providing an accessible path from the area to the east, the neighborhood to the east, kind of along the side, down to the playground area and to the school. So the primary work to the site is really to provide accessibility to the school. Next. So we've been looking at the building materials, and as we've been discussing all along, the school will really remain intact. The primary changes are in the center core of the school. This is just a view, kind of a bird's eye view of the main entrance. The most significant work to the school will be to replace all of the systems. So the new HVAC system will require quite a bit of new equipment. And you'll see on the roof here that that's where the equipment will sit. We will be redoing the structure in that area to provide the structural support for that equipment. And it also provides an opportunity to raise some of the ceilings in that area and relocate some of the interior spaces, the admin and nurses suite, to the front of the school. Next. Here's a view of the main entrance. So with the revised, the updated structure, again, we're going to pop up some of that area. It really just gives the main entry more of a sense of presence, and is just would visually be easier to see as you drive into the site. Next. Here's a closer view. So we are, the existing entrance doors to the school are kind of in the center of that bay, and we're moving it over to the side. What that allows us to do is to add a small addition. So all of the area that pops up is an addition to the existing school, where we're relocating the administrative suite and the nurses suite. Next. Here's a view of the back of the school from the playground. We are also replacing all of the window walls at the classroom, and it provides an opportunity to redesign those expanses of glass, which actually is not great glass right now. So by creating some more wall space and punched windows, we are really helping to control some of the glare that might come into the classrooms, and also just creates more interest, as well as contributes to our sustainability goals for the school. Next. Here is the first floor plan. Again, the school organization pretty much stays the same. All of the classrooms really remain in the current phase. We're reconfiguring the kindergarten classrooms, kindergarten and pre-K classrooms, and creating new toilet rooms for each of those spaces, and just rejiggering some of the interior layouts a little bit. We're improving the storage for all of the classrooms for the students and teachers, providing 2 sinks in each classroom, one that's accessible and one that's deeper for more STEM-like activities, more hands-on learning. And again, the most significant piece of design is really to take the admin area, which is currently in the center of the building, and And by moving it forward to the main entrance, we're able to enlarge the media center and really provide some great flexible space for hands-on project-based learning. We are improving all of the toilet rooms. I mean, they're just some basic utilitarian spaces that we're improving, but just really much needed. Next. And this is the second floor. We'll just see kind of the equipment shaded in there in a lighter pen weight. Yeah. And again, where we've had the opportunity to take the toilet rooms, which are taking up prime perimeter space, we're moving them inboard and making space for program space so that there's access to direct daylight in those spaces. Next. So in the next couple of months, we are in the design development phase, and this is when we have a lot of fun. Actually, all of architecture is fun, but in this case, we are going to be looking at materials and colors and looking at how they might make the spaces more visually fun and exciting for the kids. We're going to be looking at what those window framing materials are. We're looking at lighting, flooring materials, and walls. So we'll have a lot more to share at our next meeting. Next, this is just a view of the media center from the main corridor. And this is a view as you walk in and scoot over to the right. The set of doors at the end there are the doors to the gym. Next. And here is just a very broad view of the media center. We'll have a fairly large circulation desk that will have a book drop-off area for kids to return books. The bookcases that are in the center of the space are mobile so that they can be moved out of the way if more space is needed. And we're able to provide a good amount of different types of learning spaces. Next. And here's just a view of the general classroom. And you'll see that the window wall is no longer a big expanse of glazing, but we've actually got some punched windows, some larger windows, and space to pin student work up. Next. All right, so where are we with this building? We are just over 59,000 square feet. We've added about a 400 square foot addition. The grade remains pre-K to grade 5. We'll have 390 students plus the pre-kindergarten kids. The construction costs for this building project is $23,348,000. And the total project cost, which includes all of the soft costs, fees, and everything associated with building this project, just rounds out at just under $30 million. And the best thing about this project that I'm really excited about is the fact that we can achieve LEED Silver with a renovation project. It's really so exciting to us. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Bev to field questions.
Thank you, Vivian. So for everyone watching this presentation, we have, as Christina had mentioned earlier, a website, welchbuildingproject.com, and you can go directly to that site, or if you need to, you can go on to the Peabody Public School website, go to the Welch link, and then on the Welch link, you will find another additional link to our website. All of these documents are on that site, so you can look at them when you'd like to view them. There are answers to questions, and there's a way to communicate with us as well through email. You can always email the superintendent or Mrs. Massa, our principal, both of whom are here on this presentation, and I wanted to thank them and mention that they are here with us this evening. And you can always feel free to email me as well. We will get any answers to your questions and let you know what's going on. Our biggest goal with the project is to keep everyone informed. That's why we send out notices about these meetings, and you'll see all kinds of material. The school committee gets an update every 2 weeks at the regular weekly meetings, and things are going to start moving even more rapidly as we go along, with more and more milestones being touched. I don't know if anyone has any questions in the public. We do have post as far as how people can reach us on Zoom. And I don't see any hands raised or any questions from anyone. Okay. But always feel free to contact us later if you think of something after the presentation's over, or if you're watching one of these on a rebroadcast. I'll just open this up to any other members of the committee that are online right now. If anybody wanted to add to the presentation, or if any of the members of our design team or OPM or the construction team had anything to add. I think I can hear somebody. Let's just see.
This is Miss Massa.
Hi, Mrs. Massa. Thank you for coming on.
So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's involved, because there's been a lot of hard work that's gone into this. Our families are really excited. We've generated a lot of conversation over the past part of the beginning of the school year, and everybody's really excited, and we can't wait for the finished product.
Thank you. And I should mention, if anybody's at the school, especially, parents, feel free to talk with Mrs. Massa about your questions. You're right there on the scene, so you can see everything as it unfolds. All right. Well, if there's nothing further, I think we're able to come to an end for this presentation. We're always open to questions from any members of the public. We want to make this as transparent as possible, to let people know what's going on, to keep the neighbors apprised of everything, and make this one of the best projects around. We hope you'll be as happy as we are with the way things are progressing, and that you're going to really enjoy a beautiful renovated Welch school, which will be LEED Silver, which is huge for a renovation project. That's quite an accomplishment right there, and that's one of the other goals. So if there's nothing further, I guess we can sign off for tonight and look forward to seeing everyone at community meeting number 5. Thank you all very much. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.